Welcome to the Panoura 18S Panoramic X-ray. This training is meant to cover the main facets of operating and using the system. If you have questions you feel like are not covered under this training, please give us a call or make sure we get your questions answered. To start, a quick definition of terms. Looking at a diagram of the 18S, there's the chin rest, which is going to be where the patient will position their chin. There's the bite stick, which is what the patient will bite on during the scan. There's the X-ray head, which in this diagram is to the right, which is the source of the X-ray beams, and then the sensor on the left, which is what captures the beam and converts it into the digital signal. Above the patient are the forehead and temple supports that will refer to help with positioning. Below are the handholds where the patient holds during the scan. And then finally to the left is the console or the operator panel. And now on the unit itself, there are two little switches that are a little bit hidden. They're underneath the lip near the handle where the patients hold on. One of these buttons is just the main power switch. It's just a toggle switch. You turn it on, the unit turns on. You turn it off, the unit turns off. Next to that is a round red button that is an emergency stop button. It's not uncommon that a patient will bump into this and hit it and not even realize that they hit it, or someone in the staff may accidentally hit it when they are trying to find the power switch. If this happens, what you will see is the unit will look like it's just stopped working. The console won't show anything and the unit will stop moving. Re-enabling the unit is very simple. You'll just reach under and twist that little red button. You'll feel it pop out and the whole unit will come back alive and everything will be working again. Now we'll walk through the steps of taking a scan. Assuming your system is set up to acquire into a PACS system, you would start in the EvaSoft software. In the software, click on the Select Patient tab. On this screen, click on the DICOM Worklist Patients button. This will show you your DICOM Worklist patients, and then select your patient. You'll click on the little plus button to select, and then you want to confirm that the session number is correct by right-clicking on the study. Once you've confirmed the session number, click on the Capture tab. This will open up the acquisition screen. Then go into Capture and click on the tooth icon. Click on Use Worklist Accession Number. Once you do that, you should see a screen pop up for Image Creator. Once you have this screen, you click New. You'll see the Mode Setup screen appear. The unit is now set for an adult panoramic. If you wanted to go for a child panoramic, you could click on the child panoramic. Or if you were doing a TMJ shot, you would just select the TMJ shot. You can make these adjustments either on this screen here or on the control panel on the side of the unit. You can do it in either the column or on the computer screen. Generally speaking, you would just go ahead and use the automatic settings on this. The automatic settings are usually what you want to use for most of your patients. If you happen to get a patient who's an NFL linebacker or something, then you may want to bump up the KV or the MA a step or two. Now the unit and the computer are ready and talking to the scanner. So press OK. Now you want to bring your patient over to the unit. Always make sure to have your patient take off any jewelry, eyeglasses, earrings, or anything on the head that may interfere with the scan. It's a good reminder here that seemingly small items like earrings can render an otherwise good scan to be undiagnostic. What you're going to want to do is before the patient steps into the unit, use the up and down buttons on the side of the console to set the unit up to the approximate height so that the patient's chin will go on to the chin rest. The patient can step into the temple rests. The headrests will slide in and out, so you want to push them out when the patient enters so the patient can easily slide in. As the patient steps into the unit, what you want to do is have them cross their forearms and hold onto the handles. Put their chin on the chin rest and gently bite on the bite stick. People may have a tendency to step a little too far back and stick their head in. This is sometimes called goosenecking. This can result in the spine being angled rather than straight, and this can cause the anteriors on the radiograph to be washed out or undefined. So you want to have them stand as straight as they can, and a technique that helps with this, if they are steady on their feet and don't have a mobility problem, you can actually have them try to take a step forward. As they step forward, they support themselves with the handles that they are holding onto with the crossed arms, and that will help them get their spine nice and vertical. We always want to use a bite stick. The bite stick does a couple of things. It will position the patient nicely relative to the patient's incisors. In addition, it will also leave a little bit of space between the occlusal surfaces of the upper and lower jaw, so you'll be able to get a better image as well. If your patient does not have front teeth, there is another chin rest. That's a little clear plastic piece that you can use instead. With this piece, the patient would simply rest their chin against it. Now, with your patient standing in the unit, You will have them biting on the bite stick, chin on the chin rest, and you will look at the operator panel on the left side of the column. Press the button called Beam. That turns on the positioning lights. When you press this, you will see 3 laser lines. You'll get a mid-sagittal light, which should come right down the center of the patient's face. It's useful to use the mirror for that because if they're standing off to one side, sometimes it's a little difficult to see where the mid-sagittal is if you're looking at the patient at an angle. But if you swing that mirror out at a 45-degree angle, you can look through the mirror and effectively see the patient's face straight on and get a really good look at the mid-sagittal line. You also have another light that shows for the Frankfurt beam. Ideally, you want to set the line so that it goes from the tragus of the ear to the bottom of the eye orbital. One technique that can be used to adjust the patient's head is to very gently push on the back of the patient's head to get them into the right angle. There is also a third laser, which is the canine laser. The purpose of this is to help get the patient well located front to back. Typically, we recommend not to get overly fixated on the canine laser because if you're using the bite stick, this should get the patient in the right location relative to the front back position. The beams will turn off automatically in about 60 seconds. If done with the patient's positioning and the lights are still on, just press the beam button again and it will turn the beams off. If you need more time and they turn off, just press the beam button again and they'll turn on. Now that you're ready, you want to press reset on the operator panel. The unit will rotate to the starting position. You will see the ready light on the trigger switch blinking green while it moves to the start position. Once it reaches the ready position, the ready light will stop blinking and remain on. You want to ask the patient to press their tongue flat against the top of their mouths, hold still and swallow. You may even want to ask them to close their eyes so they don't get distracted by the rotating C-arm about their head. Check that the ready light on the trigger switch is steady green. Check your patient is okay. Check to see that the computer screen tells you that the unit and the software is ready. Then go ahead, press and hold down the exposure button. You have to hold the button down through the entire scan. If you release the button early, it will give you an error. If you release too early, it's okay, just hit reset and then you can retake the image. While it's scanning, you'll actually see on the screen a preview of the scan. When the scan is complete, it will process the scan for about 20 seconds or so, and then the scan will show up in the image creator screen. From here, most users just have to click the OK button and the image will be transferred into their imaging software. You can tell the patient they can step out of the unit. Now, in EvaSoft, right-click on the image and select Send Image, then click DICOM Send. It'll either tell you the DICOM is sent successfully, or if there's a problem, it will give you an error message to tell you there was a problem sending it to the PACS system. The image is still stored on this local computer, so if there is a problem with the PACS, usually you just want to try to resend it. If you need help from us at any point in time, you're always welcome to call. However, the fastest approach is to connect your acquisition PC directly into our support team. You may have a link in the desktop of the acquisition PC already. Otherwise, you're welcome to connect through our website. Just go to www.imageworkscorporation.com. From the homepage, go all the way to the bottom right. There's a small link that says Remote Support. Click on this and then complete the information to connect. Please note that the serial number is very important for our team to help you. This can be found on a label that is under the same lip as the power switch, but on the opposite side as that switch. We hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or need any assistance from us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.